beautifuls and beloveds. I hope you're doing well today. Things pretty groovy over here. So today, for you dance warriors, I am going to share with you a couple ideas that I'm not going to say I perfected, but I definitely started one school to use this as a demonstration for their students. And what is this? Documenting your dance. Not only does it help establish and protect your copyright, it also gets your idea across when you pitch it. And I'm very thorough. Because I don't like it when people steal my stuff. So, you know, when I say I have everything documented, I really mean it. And this is just one example. And I'm very honored. One of my former instructors actually said, I brought this out because I give it to them as a sample. And they can keep it. Doesn't mean that they keep the ideas, and doesn't mean they can use the ideas for whatever and extrapolate, because I will find out. But they can say, hey, one of my students did this from way back, and here, maybe you should do the same thing. Oh, how funny. Oh, hold on. You guys remember this? I don't know what or how, but this popped up. This little origami thing. Remember this as a kid? And you go like this, pick a number, and there would be a number written 1, 2, 3, 4. And if it was 3, you go 1, 2, 3. And then on the inside flap, you pick another number, and maybe it was 6. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you keep doing it, and you open it up, and you read your fortune, or actually in origami, this makes a nice little candy dish. Well, did you see this? Where did this come from? I know I made it.
I don't remember. I think you just did it.
Yeah, but I mean, where did it come from? It just shown up.
Oh, I guess it fell out of something.
How funny. All right, I'm getting back to the task here. Sorry about that. So, like I said, document everything. And is there one standard way to do it? No, but I'm very thorough, and like I said, I want to protect everything I do, and it just helps me get in touch with the piece more, with theme, tone, attitude, all of that. So this is what I like to do. This is an example. Like I said, one of my instructors said, hey, I had this student, they gave me credit, and I blessed them, and it's great to do it that way. But this is the segment, it was first called Lost Innocence instead of Shattered Innocence, but now I have 2 pieces in the Red Ribbons, see, Red Ribbons Saga, performed, choreographed by me, my name, everything here, red ribbons, all in tone and theme. But this is part of the original saga, and I basically just used a little folder here. And you can ask any of my dancers. I do this quite often. If I'm in a hurry, not so much anymore. But most of the time I do, or I'll go back and create it. What this is it's the pitch. It lists set design, theme, style, all sorts of wonderful notes. It has nice sketches. Look at this. Molested Woman. That was the name of the character. And then I called her Victoria for a little while for no reason at all, but it's me, it's Noelle Rose. So I just said, you know what? Since it's based on my story anyway, the character's name needs to be Noelle Rose. So that's what we did. And there it is, you know, Swatch, my drawing, my whole thing. And for the gals, go look at the piece. Maybe I'll put the link, have them put the link in the bottom. And these are for the gals wearing, you know, oh, this one doesn't have a swatch, but it has a red ribbon. What happened? Looks like it was ripped out. But anyway, and these dresses got shorter as time went on, and that's legitimate too. But yeah, basically I stuck with the same thing. If makeup is important, And if it's really detailed, I'll do a face, or I'll actually put the makeup on me. You saw, like, I did a lion, I did the snow queen, whatever that was, and different things. I'll just do it on myself as an example. But if it's simple like this, it's basically just a very pale face to make a reference to youth, and then red lips and red ribbons. So it was easy to just do this. It's just like, here, do this. I have fun with makeup though. I love it. And this was a Psyche, or the 3 women. There's so many different ways to see that. And I would make a chart with the different counts of 8 on a graph. This is count 1 through 9. And it's the whole dance, but graphed out here. And it breaks it down musically, and then I have like little charts of the choreography in general. Sometimes it changed when you actually get to it, but it shows a general floor plan of how I want it to go. And then this, of course, come on out, a color-coded choreography notes with each count of 8, and the original 4.1 second dance had 27 counts of 8, I think. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, about. And there's a couple other things I added to it along the way. But this is a good piece of documentation to show where I got my inspiration. In this case, it was a true life story, my memories, photographs, you know, all sorts of different things. And I kept it neat and tidy and in tone and in theme with everything. And of course, you know, you keep the program and any ticket stubs that your family and friends went to go see it, photographs, videos, all of that. So, anybody want to challenge me on the red ribbons thing? You're in deep doo, because it will not hold up in court. Your end of it, only mine will, because, oh, do I have this documented? Through the years, the revisions, everything. So, you know, I do this every single one of my pieces, even if they're in embryo, even if it's just an idea. I also have, you know, my idea journal as well. It's pretty brilliant. I don't know why anybody would steal from me. I was the worst person to steal from. Documentation. Okay, so, what is this? Oh, that goes in the other thing. Okay, I've got all these little things here. As time went on and it developed, I also had to get a bigger binder. Again, red ribbons. I said, you know what? Might as well go all the way with the theme and always keep it in red. So I have several of these. I'm not going to bring them all out, but several of them where I have the music, the film, the video, and like I said, as time went on, I also have calendars and notes. This is from the 2009 performance. Again, that was not the first time it was performed, but it was the first time it was performed uncensored. So I have everything here. And this is a really great way as a choreographer to keep track of your notes and how you did your dance and all these great things. And scheduling and, wow. Sorry, I'm just looking at all this stuff. Memories. I have phone numbers of my dancers and addresses and all of this. The film segment. And it became a film, too. Like a real film. And not just a little part. Laban notations. I had my effort graph in here. If I rented additional studio space, this is, oh, this is wonderful, because this has all the, oh my god, I spent so much money. See, I should have been given a studio space without having any trouble. So I had to spend several $100s renting out a studio. This was in, here, 2008, 2008, and all the studio space I had to rent for a school project. Whatever, I didn't mind so much. It was a gift, so. Oh my god. I didn't have any money either. I just decided, you know, hey, I won't eat as much that week. Was that smart to do as a dancer? Probably not. But, you know, I got it done. Oh my gosh, this is hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Anyway, so that is really good to keep. All of it. And then I have stuff from even prior to that, meaning what my abuse entailed, and there's a lot. So yeah, this red ribbons movement and thing was going around and on for a long go. Okay, this battery went out. So part 2 of this, and this is mostly for choreographers, but if you're a dancer, you know, it should help you and bless you as well. This is a moment in the dance where my character, or me, because it's a real story, is perched upon one of my dancer's shins, and this is drawn out. And actually my husband was the one who came up with one of the very first moves in this red ribbons piece, where I am laying on my back. I had already gotten onto the bed, and I'm like, I don't know how to start this. I was a mess trying to figure it out. I'm using hyperbole. I really was a mess, but you know, as an artist, I'm being flamboyant for the moment. And I'm like, I don't know how to start this. I'm supposed to do this, but I don't know how to start it. And my husband knew I was being brave, bringing this subject matter to light in dance form. And he said, well, how about you lay on your back and just do a kicking movement with your leg? And that was all I needed to get me started. And as you know, this section of this dance doesn't start with that, but at the time it did. And then I went back and I added stuff. It starts with that massive, amazing hinge, and I hold it. It wasn't supposed to be a back bend. It was a hinge where you keep this part very flat, and then I'm like, let's make this look really cool and creepy. And I kept my back very, very flat like a board, and everyone's like, how the heck do you hold it like that? Like a lot of sit-ups. And I got better and better and better as the years went on. Oh, here is the little swatch. It's in this one. I don't know what it's doing in this one, but whatever. So, you know, I have all this stuff that really documents it. Oh, how cool. I have all the backup dancers. It's just so amazing. A couple of my dancers had to drop out because it was too intense for them. I'm like, I get it. Yeah, so, you know, all these really great things. And my notes of how to fix things, and my teacher saying, well, why don't you fix it this way? All sorts of beautiful things came out of it. That's a guy's gonads drawn on this. I don't know what that means. Okay, it must have been in class. Look.
Huh.
Should I show people? Probably not.
No.
It's a little... Here, I'll cover that part up. But his things are there. I don't know who gave this to me. It was for class. Weird. I don't know. Anyway, so it was the evolution of the dance, even making it better, and, you know, it started off, like I said, as a gift for somebody. A gift for me, too, and it was a gift for many, many people, because they were blessed too. So the gift that was meant for one was a gift that was meant for many. Another way to document things, and I had fun with this one because this is a scrapbook. Sometimes I will go all out and do a scrapbook in theme with the dance. This is from Silent Rose. My costume was pink. I wanted to do something very colorful, because if you looked at my earlier dances, a lot of it was red, black, and white. Red ribbons, mostly red and white, up against a black background, black floor. And, you know, I just wanted to change from that because I didn't want to just do dances with black, red, and white. Although they are our company colors, I wanted to do something like really eye-catching and eye-popping. So, this is the Silent Rose, one of the sections. For some reason, when I start choreographing dances, I will do the last section that closes the dance. Like I do long pieces, 50 to an hour and a half, 50 minutes to an hour and a half long. And I tend to choreograph the last piece first, like the last segment in the entire longer version first. I don't know why that is, but I do. And anyway, for the Silent Rose, I wanted these beautiful colors, and I was like, okay, we'll have the rose, which was my character, in pink, and the wind in blue, and the butterflies in yellow. So I found this fabric, and this is part of my inspiration, and here's some rickrack that I put here. And I found a scrapbook, and I just started compiling things. Now, this was, unlike the other ones for Red Ribbons, this is compiled with me and my dancers, which was great. I really need to get back in touch with everybody and just apologize for not being in touch or something. I don't even know anymore. But anyway, you know, my dancers gave me things of inspiration. This was something that was compiled in 10 weeks. If you look at the dance, we put it together in like 10, 11 rehearsals, if that, and it went very quickly. It's very hard to do a big piece like that very quickly, but I managed, and they managed very well, but they would give me things along the way. I had some inspiration where I wanted to go as a choreographer, and then I just started compiling this with them. And as you can see, this was one of my dancers. She played one of the butterflies, and I think this was derived from, she's a very talented artist, and she has this very interesting style. She understands a dancer's body, and I believe this is her, and she was in one of the costumes I designed. And she gave this to me as like a thank you, love you note. And this, I wish I knew who did this, but the same dancer sent this to me and said, this is what I'm thinking of. And I said, yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking of. So who did this? I want to give you credit. It's just in my scrapbook. Okay, I didn't like void copyright, or I didn't breach copyright or anything like that. She just printed it out, and she did this nice little thing, and she's like, this reminds me of you. And so I took the idea of this that inspired me at the end, and I made it basically my own, but I used that as inspiration, and I gave credit to the anonymous artist, who I don't know who did that, and you know, used that. So people thought it was me. They're like, did you model that? Like, no, that's kind of pretty. And the song, we danced to it, and copyright fees were paid. And anytime we perform it, we also pay copyright fees too. And it was called The Truth Beneath the Rose by Within Temptation. Very long, gothic, beautiful rock song, and the words just seemed to fit where we were going with this. And so throughout here I have quotes from the songs, and I also had a Anais Nin quote, and the day came when the risk it took to remain closed in a bud became more painful than the risk it took to blossom. So I worked off of that that quote to carry me through the rest of the piece. As you can see, this is very much like, you know, in vein of this, but of course my way of doing it. And I did something very liberating. I had a costume on, had a costume on, and just ripped it off at the end. And I talked about it with my instructor and my dancers, and they're like, why don't you just go for it? I said, I don't have a reason not to, actually. Thank you. So I did. And it's really great. If you look at the video, though, it was very modestly done. And I'm like, all right. It wasn't really even my idea. It was suggested to me, and I didn't have a reason. I didn't have a reason not to. It was the rose blooming, and I'm not ashamed of anything I did. I asked my husband if he would mind if I did this. The lighting is so beautiful here. Can you see that? And I still love each and every one of these dancers very much. It was pretty smooth sailing during this. Later on, some of us butted heads. And I'm like, oh God, I gotta get back to them and tell them it really doesn't matter at this point, that I still love them all. And this was during rehearsal in the room. But can you see the difference between rehearsing in a studio and then being on stage? And then, you know, the rose petals, that was such a pain. But I loved, they were like, I'll sweep for you, Noelle. They were like so helpful. Even people that weren't in my piece. I was like, oh my God, I love you. I didn't even know them well. And they loved me. I was like, oh God, this is so beautiful. And our task was not to spend a lot of money or no money. So I think my budget was like $10. I'm like, how am I going to pull this off? I had asked one of my teachers if I could borrow their mesh fabric. And they said, yeah, but you gotta go through another student. I'm like, never mind. I ain't gonna fall for that. So I actually found something better that looked more like a cocoon. And as you know, I did another piece where we're all throwing up the fabric and designing it. And it's so beautiful. I gotta make sure that one's up online. I know the rehearsal footage is on private, but you know, we need to put it back up online because somebody, remember that? Somebody heard us talking about doing that.
Yeah. In
the private of our own office, mind you, but our phones were around, and actually we saw it perform someplace where we were performing at the same time, and I'm like, no way. That's the exact dance. The next part in this. And I was like, I was just going to expand upon it. But it was already done. Little did they know. So, what was I saying? Yeah, so I found something better. Because they had done a dance. I'd never seen it, but they showed me a picture of it. And this beautiful African-American woman underneath white fabric. And, yeah, I don't know what they were doing. They were just in a position. And then that inspired me as well. And I never saw the dance, so I didn't steal anything from them, but I gave them credit for the inspiration. I think that's important to do. And yeah, so completely different from their dance. And I always wanted them to see it, say, this is what you inspired me to do. And it's basically about butterflies getting their wings and roses blooming. So that became a thing for our company for a long time. If you look on our YouTube channel, you can see a whole bunch of different dances when we're in cocoons, and sort of really sexy, sensual, beautiful, and just really freeing and fun. So anyway, costuming, I didn't have a lot of money, so I was going to borrow it. I couldn't do that, and I just found something even better that I liked, and these were just chiffon rectangles fastened a certain way. Safety pins. I couldn't even spend money for thread. Plus, I liked the risk factor. I liked that they had to secure it and figure out how to secure it for them to be successful. And that sense of risk that your clothes might fall off at any moment created and caused my ladies and myself to dance a different way than if it was just a fit costume. Now, as time went on, I did actually perfect the costumes, and I used these pieces of fabric and I incorporated them into the actual costumes now. And you know, I think we gained something and lost something at the same time, because it really made my dancers and I dance differently. We felt so reckless and free, and that's what the whole dance was. It wasn't about the technique. It was about freedom. It was about getting your wings, blooming, and I wanted us to feel like that. It's a coming of age piece. And you know, those who have religion, you can also see it as becoming a Christian. You can see it as coming out of your shell. You can see it so many different ways, and there's no real wrong answer with this one. It was not like my sexual child abuse molestation piece where I wanted people to know what I was saying, because it was more of a mission very specifically, you know. And not that other people's opinions of what was going on during the presentation, you know, I wasn't going to get mad at them. It's just that I think, what did I do to fail as a choreographer? But really, that really didn't happen much. It was pretty nail on the head. Okay, so here we go. More to document. It also shows my hair color isn't quite accurate in this picture. It was a bit redder, but you know, we printed these out. But see, this was pink instead of white. I liked it better. It just created this really lovely haze. The truth beneath the silent rose. This knee hold. Everyone was so amazed to see the different technique I was using, and I was very pleased to do so. I incorporated black boxes to stand on, and yeah, just a lot of really great stuff. Again, it wasn't about the technique. Technique was had and done, but that wasn't the main point. The main point was storyline. Gotta love that leap. My dancer actually drew a picture of me. I don't know where that one is. Doing that. It's somewhere. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. I love them all. And that year we actually had them make recommendations of, well, how do you think the makeup should go? And they did so. But really, I loved each and every one of these dancers. I hope they knew that. Sometimes we all got mad at each other. It happens. It's art. And here's something, like, my dancers just made things for me. And they're like, we know Noelle's gonna love this. You're right. And the program, and the thank you cards, choreographers' notes from the program. I made this. I was always asked to make the stuff, the posters. We all signed the program. It was fun. Oh yeah, the infamous picture. Is that even in here? It should be. The one that Facebook banned my account for. That made me so mad. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
That was BS. I'm like, get out of here. But anyway, it's this photo. Or, see, same dancer who drew the other pictures did this one of me. And I had beige dance briefs on, and Facebook banned my account saying it was pornographic nudity. I'm like, I was more covered than some of these women wearing just string bikinis. And then, you know, you had some Sports Illustrated thing cherry picking from my costumes and other elements, the women were just covered like this and the side view. I'm not necessarily against that. I'm comfortable with my body and anybody else's. But the point is, isn't that a bit hypocritical? Why get rid of my account and you let that slide? Something's not okay there. So, you know, we said something about it and got it back. My other dancer made these beautiful butterfly card designs for me. And then, you know, I got, you know, beautiful thematic things. And here's some paper. So, you know, choreographers, these are just some ideas that you can do in a fun way to establish your pieces. Now, I by no means mean for you, if you have stolen something from me, to try to backdate and establish your stuff before mine and say, oh, what a great idea. Now I'll just establish her stuff, which I stole from her, make it mine by doing all this and say, here, it's proven. Because we will find out, and I know exactly what was stolen from me. So I'm not saying that. I'm saying for you honest people who are really trying to find your way as a choreographer, how to protect your artistic expression and viewpoint. Some of you might not care. God bless you. Some of you do care. God bless you too. I care. And, you know, it's up to everyone what they want to choose to do. Like I said, there really is no right and wrong way, but like I said, this has saved me. And it's going to keep saving me again and again and again. And I am so grateful that I have them. And, you know, my mentors and teachers who really did respect me and did care about me, gave me proper credit. And you know that this started it in another school that I went to get my degree, and they used it as an example. So then other students said, hey, that's a great idea, and they started to become professional in their presentation. Like, my teachers had never seen a student do this before, but then again, I came in with a background of having film production and being an actor and a performer in front of the camera. And here's something kind of related, kind of not. I was taught by my father that there is no bad job, in a sense. Let me see if I can explain this better. My dad said, you know what, if you want to be a performer, and my grandmother also said something like this too to me, I want you to learn everything because you gain humility and respect. So I learned how to do lighting. I learned for film, right? I learned how to do light for stage. I'm still learning. It's a little different. And I learned how to do that job. Not only is it cheaper, I don't have to rely on a lighting designer for film. I can do it. My husband can do it. Our son can now do it pretty decently, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you save money, but you also learn respect and humility. Because now when we do hire somebody to do that, I would hope that I would be patient and understand, because I know it can be hard. I'm very quick though. That's the other thing. It can work both ways. It can be a double-edged sword. But, you know, not only you save money on your budget, but you learn respect and you earn respect, and you gain more knowledge, because the more you learn how much you don't know as well. And that's also another pill of humility, as it would be. And I think that's very important. But you also get more control over your craft. Like, I have more control and understanding as a choreographer now. I try to be quick and easy for my lighting designers, and I have a cue-to-cue sheet, and it says where you have to do it. Now, an experienced lighting designer should be like, it's typed in. Now let's match it up with what we see on stage, and we run it real quick, and then I'll have my assistant saying, now, this is exactly where it happens, even though it's written at exactly where it, right?
Yeah.
Quarter Vert, our duet, the one that was at the Madrid Theater, is now up on our YouTube, and that wasn't the music we performed to. We actually performed to a Zoe Keating piece, but my husband relayed, what do you call it, re-edited it with his music that he made, and it works pretty good with the piece. You just gotta fix the last maybe 10 seconds of it a little bit to really fit well. And we may change to just using that for now on, you know, because it would be our copyright. And much easier than having to, you know, get permission and pay for it, etc. Plus, you know, hey, he's a great composer. So anyway, we learned. And from having learned all these different things, like I said, I have more control over my piece, and I can visualize it more. I can say I want this light here and this here, and then the Q2Q sheet helps the lighting designer. And if you have a video of it already, and there's just a lot that goes along with it. But that also helps you document things too. But anyway, so choreographers, I hope this helps you a little bit. I know that I've been blessed being able to know that I created a little bit of a legacy to help my instructors, and that I help other students, but know where it came from, and also know that you know, you can just keep adding to it. It's a production notebook as well. It serves as, like, this one is, I love this, and I keep this close at hand. I have a few of them for my different dances, and I have a few of them with sketches only I haven't done yet, but I love being able to, you know, just grab it at a glance and remember, or to do a video like this and share this with you guys. But yeah, document everything and have fun with it like I did. And you know, it was great to, my dancers, they would have questions, and sometimes it's like, oh God, none of the questions. Not like that, but your head gets so full if you're choreographing, and I usually perform in a lot of my pieces. I haven't done it with all of them, but a lot of times I do, and it's like you just don't need another question, not because they don't have a right to ask, it's just so much is in your head. So I just left my choreographer notebook out, and I just said, please, at any time, you want to add to it, doodle, whatever. And they enjoyed it so much. And after I got, after our dance company started rolling and ramping up, it got a little bit more challenging to take the time to do this, because you're under a different demand. It's like, we need this now, we need this now. And I don't necessarily have all the time to always do these things, and it's a shame, because there was so much pleasure and everybody got a lot out of it. I'm known for having, most of the time, when we're not being infiltrated by people outside trying to get in for the wrong reasons, I like to be able to spend time with my dancers, get to know them, and work on an emotional level from inside out. But you know, guys, you've got to stop trying to infiltrate the company for the wrong reasons, because then I can't be who I need to be for the dancers who are really there because they want to partake in something that great. That's my reputation. And, you know, the more recent years, it's been challenged because I've had to, you know, put up defenses and shields and try to figure out who's coming in that shouldn't be there. They're just trying to cause problems. And that's a shame, because I really do genuinely like even the ones that came in not as friends. I even liked them. I'm open, but you know, after you see how it's harming, so you know, we're basically clean slate, and anybody even slightly causing any problems, we're able to say, okay, look, not gonna happen. We're so sorry, you're wonderful, but it's not meshing. And you know, I want to get back to doing this again with my dancers and enjoying the process, because I want to be able to create good memories. And I apologize to some dancers who I know I would love to have you back, but I know that was a little hairy at times, and please know it wasn't coming from me. And I wished, you know, the type of scenarios we were facing did not come with a manual saying, if you have espionage going on in your company, what do you do? I mean, who would have expected it? really a dance company, but yeah, a dance company. And this doesn't mean all of our dancers are like that, but you know. So we're working on it to fix that so we can vet people more properly. And just know, we don't want to have anything to do with that. Save yourself the trouble and stay away from us. We like placidity. We like people who, like I had in the past. Yeah. It's very challenging, I'll tell you that much. But hopefully these ideas help you. I had a lot of fun. Alright, that's all. Signing out for this video. Bless you all, and get in touch with us if you have any questions, or do little notes below. Okay, bye guys.